I just joined HubSpot, and one of the first questions that our wonderful new CSO asked me is, Kayla, what do you think about SPIFFs? I feel like they're distracting, they're noisy. I'm not really sure that they drive the right behavior. What are your thoughts about that? Everybody's been exposed to different sort of SPIFF designs. Maybe you've seen a linearity incentive. Maybe you've seen a SPIFF around driving new logos or pushing a new product. It's really difficult for any of us to say, hey, here's the types of programs that we've seen work really well, because so much of it ties to your organization's go-to-market strategy. And so when I think about where SPIFs fit into that, right, you'll often hear SPIF should be complementary to your sales compensation plan, not duplicative. So what do we mean by that? As a company, every year during fiscal planning, we establish the company objectives. If we were to categorize those into essentially three tiers, your tier one objectives are your number one top priority. These are the kinds of metrics for which you want to make sure sellers are carrying quota for. These are, you know, critical to the board, they're critical to the street, like they are, we can't get this wrong. Tier two would be things that are also important to your company strategy, but again, secondary in importance relative to your sort of tier one primary quoted objectives. So in terms of where we think into, where do incentives fit into sort of secondary tier, these are going to be things that maybe could be commissions only bonus, but they're important enough that you might want to run those throughout the entire duration of the year, right? They are that important that you want to drive that focus for an extended period of time. Then you have that third tier. So these might be things that are very specific to potentially a certain subset of sales, or it could be a transient goal, such as driving linearity in a given time period where there's a specific window to do that. The options are endless. But again, starting with that prioritization of what are your sort of tier one, tier two, tier three objectives, SPIFs are going to fit the nicest. And I generally find we are happiest with their outcome when they fit into that third tier.